Hi there, my name is Emma-Jayne and welcome to your practice today. We will be going through a practice that will build a nice bit of heat and then move into a cooler side of practice. So this is known as a yin and yang type of practice. We'll do the yang first and then into the yin type of yoga. It's going to be a wonderful opportunity to just rest and relax after you build up a nice little bit of heat. You can probably see a few things sitting around me. If you can grab a wee blanket, that would be useful, just for comfort. And if you do not have a bolster, that is totally fine. You can just grab hold of a big cushion, or you can roll up a blanket, you can roll up a duvet, anything that makes a nice supportive little shape for you. So whatever works, it's all good. And we'll be using that in the latter part of our time together. So let's begin by just maybe propping our hips up a little bit. So maybe sitting on top of the pillow, sitting on top of your blanket. Just so your hips are raised a little, and get yourself comfortable. So this could be in a cross-leg position, in hero's pose, whatever works for you. And if your hands can just find somewhere comfortable, there's no real way that you should sit. It's whatever feels good for you. And just allow your eyes to fall closed. And slowly begin to breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. And as you're here, I want you to slowly try and line your ears up over top of your shoulders, so you're rocking back ever so slightly until your shoulders then feel that they're over top of your hips. Feel free to readjust yourself into a pose that just feels comfortable. It's not really any pressure to sit where you're at. And with that next exhale, begin to soften the skin around your eyes, soften your jaw. And begin to observe how it feels as you welcome the breath in and as you let it go. Maybe you're trying to tune out noises around you. Maybe you're trying to tune out things that happen throughout your day, your week. And if your mind is rushing towards trying to answer that email, just let it go for now. Focus on the inhale, focus on the exhale, and how it feels as you welcome the breath in and out. Maybe moving to that Ujjayi breath if you're familiar with it. As you exhale, you're pushing the breath up over the back of the throat, almost like you're trying to make a noise out through your mouth. It should sound a little like the ocean or Darth Vader, whatever you want to go with. And as you're here, inhaling and exhaling, I want you to let go of any ideas that you may have about how your practice is going to look. Maybe if you've got that competitive edge where you're going to try and hold the pose as long as you can, or you're going to try and push it as hard as you can, just let that go. Or maybe if you feel as if you've dragged yourself onto the mat and you just can't be bothered being here, you don't even know why we're doing this breath, why we're breathing in and out, just stick with it. You know, I know that it'll serve you in the long run to stick with the next few minutes. It'll set your day up, it'll end your day right whenever you're practicing. On that next inhale, I want you to hold the breath at the peak. Inhale through the nose. Holding it for 3 and for 2 and for 1. Exhale with a heavy sigh. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhaling. 3 and for 2 and 1. Letting go. 1 more. Inhale. And exhale. Beautiful. Let those eyes flicker open. Inhale, reaching both hands up high. And as you exhale, interlace the fingers, turn your palms to the ceiling. Beautiful. Inhale, pushing up. And exhale, bring the palms forward. Feel as if you're arching your back as you push them forward. And this is going to feel a little weird, but you're going to inhale, pull your chest forward, your shoulders back. Exhale, push the palms forward. So it's almost like a little cat and cow movement. Inhale, pulling your chest forward, shoulders back. Exhale, pushing through. Do this as many times as feels good. Inhaling and exhaling. You're really working on pulling the shoulders apart, or the shoulder blades, and then drawing them together, pulling your chest, your heart through. And 1 more. And release the hands. Push the palms to the back of the room. Inhale to reach up high. And as you exhale, bring the hands down in front of you. Make your way into a tabletop position. You can pop your little blanket to the side, your little pillow to the side. We'll come back to it. As you place your hands down, spread the fingers wide, pushing your palms down. Feel as if you're trying to make as much space between your pointer and your thumb as possible, just to stretch it out. Knees are underneath the hips. Inhale, dropping the stomach, pulling the gaze to the ceiling. Exhale, chin to chest, arch the back. Inhale, back to center. And we're going to make our way straight to that down dog. We're in our yang part of our time together, so tuck the toes. Inhale, peel the knees up off the floor, push the hips skyward, downward facing dog. Take a few breaths here, pedal the knees out. If you need to readjust yourself, go ahead. Focus on the thumbs pushing down that pointer finger. And just breathing steadily here. On that next inhale, lifting the heels up. As you exhale, bring yourself into a plank position. Now, this is early on in our practice. If you do not feel like doing plank pose, you can drop the knees down. It's really up to you. Get yourself in a good position. I'm going to take this necklace off so it's not clattering. Sorry. So as you're in your plank pose, I was just giving you a minute to hang out in plank pose, sorry. So spread the fingers wide just as you're here. And just as we were doing, I want you to pull your chest through and then push it away. So it's like a little scap push-up, they're called. Just warming those shoulders up. Inhaling and exhaling. Remember, you can drop the knees down. You still get the full benefit and range of motion for those shoulders. And then pick the hips up. Make your way back to that downward facing dog. Beautiful. Feel as if your heels are pulling towards the back of the mat. Pedal the feet out. And if you're new to this practice, if you haven't done a down dog in what feels like a million years, even if it was just yesterday, I want you to make sure that your back is flat, so you're not compromising the safety of your back here to try and get your legs straight. So bend the knees as much as you need to push your hips skyward. And bend the knees, look between the hands, take as many little steps as you can, arriving to the top of your mat. So still looking at those feet, I want you to spread the toes wide, setting them down slowly. Bend your knees as much as you can, as much as you want. Grab opposite elbow, let that head hang heavy. Keep that lovely breath that you created at the start. Maybe you're a bit like me and struggle to open your eyes when I said open your eyes. Feeling a little calm, or hopefully a lot calm. So as you're here, feel the weight of that body drawing you closer to the ground. Release the hands down. Inhale to stand slow and steady as you arrive up. Inhale, reach your hands up high, and exhale, cactus the arms, almost as if you're getting a little back bend in. Gaze to the ceiling. Inhale, reaching up, and exhale, hands to heart, chin to chest. Nice and strong as you stand here, folks. We're going to move into a classical sun salutation C. And as we move through this for a couple of rounds, we'll begin to build and add and make it a little more difficult, but just pick where you want to go. You don't need to push yourself to the hardest, most difficult thing every day of your life. Sometimes you just need to be present and still. Inhale, reaching your hands up high. Exhale, cactus the arms, gaze to the ceiling, to the sky, wherever you're at. Inhale, reaching up again, and exhale, fold forward. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift. Exhale, step that right foot back, drop the right knee just as we're here, pull the heart forward, and exhale into your plank. Remember, you can drop the knees if you want. Wrapping those triceps around, pulling your biceps forward. Exhale all the way down to the ground, nice and controlled. Untuck the toes, spread the fingers wide. Inhale into your cobra, your baby cobra. Exhale, lower down, tuck the toes into your plank and downward facing dog. You got it. Inhale that right leg high. Exhale, stepping it through. In between your hands, you can shimmy it up if you need to. Drop the left knee, flat the left foot. Inhale, pull the heart forward. And exhale, step to the top of your mat. Beautiful. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. You got it, folks. Inhale to rise up. Exhale, hands to heart. Let's do that on the left side. You'll get into such a lovely rhythm doing this. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, cactus the arms. Inhale, reaching high. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, step that left foot back, drop the knee, flat the foot. Inhale, pulling your heart forward. And exhale to your plank. Remember, it's your plank wherever you go with it. Exhale, lower all the way down. Inhale into your cobra. Exhale, release. Inhale to your plank. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale, stepping it through. Drop the right knee, flat the foot. Inhale, pull your heart forward. Exhale, step to the top of your mat. Inhaling, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale to rise. Exhale, hands to heart. Take a moment. We're going to flow through that a couple more times. So find a rhythm that works for you. If you're a couple steps behind, it's all good. A couple steps ahead, it's all good. Hopefully you're in time with me, but it's really your practice. So inhale, reaching up high. Exhale, cactus the arms. Pull your heart forward. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step that right foot back, drop the knee, pull your heart forward. Exhale, plank. Inhale at the top of your plank as you exhale, lowering down all the way. Inhale into your cobra. Maybe you want to straighten those arms if it feels good. Exhale, release. Tuck your toes into your downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg skyward. Exhale, stepping it through. Drop the left knee, flat the left foot. Inhale, pulling that chest forward. Exhale to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale to rise up. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale. Exhale, cactus the arms. Reaching up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, step the left foot back, drop the knee. Inhale, pull your heart forward. Exhale, step into your plank. Exhale, releasing down. Inhale, into your back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale that left leg skyward. Exhale, stepping it through. Drop the right knee, flat the foot. Inhale, pulling your heart forward. And exhale to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale to rise up. Exhale, hands to heart, chin to chest. Take a breath or two right here. If you feel like you lost your breath at all, bring it back. Settle in. Inhale to rise. Exhale to fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step that right foot back, drop the knee, flat the foot. This time, inhale, reach your hands up high. Exhale with a sigh. Inhale. Exhale, framing your foot, tuck the toes, step into your plank. Exhale, lowering down. Inhale, peeling up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale that right leg skyward. Exhale, stepping it through in between your hands. Drop the left knee, flat the left foot. Inhale to reach up. Exhale, side away. One more time. Exhale, frame that foot, tuck the left toes. Step to the top of the mat, inhaling halfway. Exhale to fold. Inhale to rise up. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, left foot back. Drop the left knee, flat the left foot. Inhale to reach up high. Exhale, side away. Inhale. And exhale. Frame your foot, tuck the toes, step into your plank. As you exhale, lowering down, nice and controlled. Inhale into your back bend. Exhale, lower down. Tuck your toes. Make your way into your downward facing dog. Beautiful. Inhale that left leg high. And exhale, step it through. In between the hands, drop the right knee, flat the right foot. Inhaling. Exhale, side away. Inhale. And exhale, frame your foot, tuck the toes, step to the top of your mat. Inhaling, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale to rise. Exhale, hands to heart. Take a breath or two here. Final time, flowing through that vinyasa. Enjoy just the fluid motion of it. If you feel like you're a little mechanical, that's fine. Just enjoy trying to connect your breath, your movement, flowing naturally. Inhale to reach up. Exhale, fold. Inhaling, halfway lift. And exhale, step the right foot back. Drop the knee, flat the foot. Inhale, reaching both hands up high. Exhale, side away. Inhale once again. And exhale, framing your foot, tuck the right toes, step into your plank. Now if you want to flow through a full chaturanga here, you can. As you exhale, lower down. Inhale, peeling up into that upward facing dog. Beautiful, folks. Exhale, downward facing dog. Wonderful. Inhale that right leg high. Exhale, stepping it through in between your hands. Drop the left knee, flat the left foot. Inhale to reach up. Exhale, side away. Inhale. Exhale, framing your foot, tuck the left toes, step to the top of your mat. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana. Inhale to rise up. Exhale, hands to heart. Final time, final side. Inhale to rise. Exhale to fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step that left foot back, drop the knee, flat the foot. You got this. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, frame your foot, tuck the toes, step back into your plank. Full chaturanga if you want. Exhale. Inhale up into your back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale, stepping it through, drop the right knee, flat the right foot. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, frame your foot, tuck the right toes, step to the top of your mat. Beautiful. Inhaling, halfway lift. Let's spend a breath or two right here. Let's think about this pose. Bring your hands to your shins or to the floor. Your back is flat. If I placed a glass of water on your back, it wouldn't fall, hopefully. If you need to bend your knees a little, please go ahead. With your hands on your shins, your back is flat. You should feel this up the backs of your legs, maybe not as severe as when we first started our practice. You should be well warmed up. Nice deep breath here. Exhale, side away, bend the knees, fold forward. Head hanging heavy. You're not trying to hold on to any tension. You're not trying to look around. Your head's just kind of hanging out there, maybe looking between your legs, if anywhere. Grabbing opposite elbow. Bend the knees as much as you can, almost so that there's a buoyancy there. And rock yourself left to right. Beautiful. Let your hands trickle to the floor. Bring them to the backs of your heels. Inhale, pull your heart forward, grasping either your ankle, your back of your calf, just the back of your leg. And exhale, bend the elbows, pulling your chest toward your thighs, trying to push your hips, your bottom toward the ceiling. And release. Inhale to rise up slow and steady, reaching high. Exhale, hands to heart. Beautiful. Let your eyes open ever so slightly, ever so slowly. Just a little bit of balance before we transition into our next part of our flow. I want you to slowly bring some weight onto that right foot, picking up the left foot. Steady breath. Doesn't have to be anything magnificent, just a little fraction off the floor so that the right side is having to balance. And then set it down, hips left and right. Beautiful. And then let's do it again. Slowly picking up that right foot. Your gaze is just somewhere that you're not going to lose balance, your drishti. And setting it down, hips left and right. You got it, folks. Just bring it back, that center, that focus. Inhale to reach your hands up high. Exhale, folding yourself forward. Step back into your down dog, pushing your hips toward the ceiling. We're going to spend 5 breaths here. If you want to take a sneaky little child's pose, go ahead. It's not really sneaky, is it? Cheeky? I don't know. as long as you're comfortable. Taking 5 breaths right here. Inhaling that right leg high. Join us here if you're in child's pose. And exhale, step that right foot through in between your hands. Slowly set that left knee down. I want you to place the left hand onto the floor. Spread the fingers wide just as we did at the start of our time together. Inhale, drawing that right hand to the ceiling. So you want that movement to come from your upper back. Your shoulders are stacking. Your hips are still squared here as best as possible. You're not pushing loads of weight onto that left hip. If you want to add a little more, tuck the left toes, pick up that knee if you want. Nice and strong, and then slowly bring that right hand down, framing the foot. You're going to take a look towards those left toes. If the knee's not lifted, you can pick it up. And you're going to step the foot in just a fraction, turn the toes to maybe 10 or 11 o'clock. And you're going to make your way into Warrior 1, Viranadrasana 1. Bring your hands up, bring them to your hips. So we'll worry about our arms in a second. You want your hips to be as squared as comfortably possible towards the front of the room. Bend in that knee. So everyone's different, everyone's hips are different, so you might need to bring your foot a little wider, turn your toes a little more. It's at about 45 degrees. But get yourself comfortable. I'm not there to kind of tell you how it looks or tell you what it's, about, but I can tell you here and I can give you some indication of how it should feel. So that left hip flexor is opening up. That right quad is being asked to engage. Inhale, reaching both hands to the ceiling. Your gaze can follow if it's good for you. And try and fight the urge to pull your right hip forward. So pulling the right hip back a little bit, pulling the left hip forward. Bring the left hand down to the back of the left leg. Inhale, reach the right hand high. And maybe try and have a little back bend. Nice and strong as you are here. And then return upright, release the left hand. Steady breath, you can do it. You're going to bring that left hand down. And you're going to allow, it's like a little internal rotation, so your thumb is pointing down, bring it towards the ground, and bring your forearm at the low of your back. You're going to feel as if you're gripping hold of that right hip, so don't worry if you're not kind of grabbing it. It's just a little gentle reminder. You're pulling the right hip back a little more, bending the right arm, and just resting your hand at the base of your neck. Inhaling and looking back. So you're almost cradling your neck, having a little bit of a back bend, right hip pulling back. Keep a bend in that right knee. I know it's tough, but you can do it. And then slowly bring it back, releasing both hands. Inhale to reach high. Exhale, framing your foot. Stepping into a downward facing dog. You can flow through a vinyasa here if you want, although I'd recommend just taking a child's pose, knees down, toes together, hips sinking back. Taking a few breaths here before we move to the other side. Feeling everything settling down once again. Physically, emotionally, whatever it may be. I usually find if I arrive on my mat kind of supercharged up from things that have happened through the day, it's usually at this point when I'm in the quieter poses that my mind will try and go back to them. So if that's you, if you're being drawn back to it, just let it go. Even for a few extra moments and minutes. Walk the hands out in front of you and draw your hips up and make your way back to that downward facing dog. Tuck the toes and take a few breaths right here. Inhale that left leg high. And exhale, step it through in between your hands. Slowly set down the right knee and tuck the toes if it's comfortable. Spreading the right fingertips or the right fingers wide. Inhale the left hand high. Stacking the shoulders, make sure your hips are not kind of going out of sync, out of whack as you're here. Again, if you want to add a little more, tuck the toes, lift that knee up. Nice and strong as you are here. And as you exhale, release that left hand to the ground. If your right knee is not lifted, you can lift it up. Take a look towards those toes and step your foot up just a fraction. Turn the toes towards 1 or 2 o'clock. It might look a little different to this side. Make your way into your Warrior 1, Viranadrasana 1. Bring your hands onto your hips. So check in with how you're doing here. You want to make sure your hips are kind of facing forward. If there were headlights, they'll be pointing straight to the front of the room, or well, the direction that you're standing. Might not be the front of the room in your house. So just get yourself in this little position here. You might need to readjust the stance. You might need to bring your foot wider. I love to bring my hands to my hips and kind of square them off. When you're ready, inhale your hands high. Nice and strong as you're here. On your next exhale, bring that right hand down. Just let it rest at the back of your thigh. Inhale, reaching the left hand up and slowly draw a line on the ceiling as you send it back. Right hand is a little bit of support. And slowly bring it back. Inhale, both hands high. I want you to bring that right arm out wide. Turn your thumb towards the ground, a little internal rotation. And bring your forearm along your low back. Feel as if you're pulling that left hip back, keeping the bend in that left knee. You can do it. Bending the left elbow, cradling the back of your neck. Inhaling and exhale. Feel as if your hands cushioning your neck as you gaze up. That right hand is pulling the left hip back. You are strong as you are here, I promise. Bring it back. Use your hand to guide your head back. Releasing that right arm. Inhale to reach up high. And exhale, framing your foot, stepping into your downward facing dog once again. Taking 5 breaths right here. As you finish your 5th breath, bring your knees down to the ground. I want you to grab hold of your bolster or your pillow, whatever it is that's going to support you. I'm going to use a bolster for this, but if you use a pillow, you might want to just maybe put 1 or 2 in front of each other or on top of each other. And we're going to make our way into our first yin pose. So if this is completely new to you, you might find it quite difficult to just switch off. Totally normal, totally fine. I would just encourage you to stick with it. So bring your pillow or your bolster just a little bit back in between your knees. Your knees are still wide, your toes are together. This is a supported child's pose, so all you're going to do is allow your head to rest down. Your body is supported. Usually I place my forearms down on the ground, but some people like to bring themselves up on top and kind of wrap their arms around the bolster. It's really getting yourself comfortable. Get yourself into a position that you're not going to fidget. That's basically the bottom line of yin yoga, so that you can totally rest and relax. As you've worked up the heat, the energy, that yang, we're moving into the inside, the cooling side. Bring it back to that breath. Notice how it feels as your body is supported by that bolster. as your mind begins to wonder about the meals you need to cook, the cleaning you need to do, the emails you need to send, that life administration that we all have to keep up with. I want you to bring it back to the sensation of being supported. The entire weight of your torso resting onto this pillow, onto the bolster, onto the blanket. Feel the gentle rise of your chest as you inhale and the deflation as you exhale. Notice as your body is moving into that state of relaxation, the ever so important state of just being present. It's really hard to do, I know. Now you're going to slowly open your eyes. If you suddenly decided you want to stay in this position for the rest of our time, you can totally do it, no judgment. But if you want to move to that next posture, slowly peel yourself up. It does feel like peeling yourself up, doesn't it? And bring whatever it is that you're using to support you. I'm just going to continue to use this bolster just to the top of your mat. We're going to make our way into a supported Sphinx pose. This is excellent for strengthening your back, supporting it. So all you're going to do is bring your elbows onto the bolster, just as if you're in a cobra pose. So you might need to readjust this. And you can bring your forearms, your elbows down. Encourage that little cushion up towards or into your chest so that you feel supported here. And this is it. This is Sphinx pose. Tops of your feet pushing down into the mat. If you really want to kind of let it all go, you can drop your chin towards your chest. And one other little variation, feel free to play with it, but like I said, get yourself into a position that you're not going to fidget in. You can bring yourself into what's known as seal pose. Your hands are wide. Your chest is pulling up. It's a little more intense, but still a beautiful posture. So pick where you want to go. Adjust as you need. And remain with that breath of yours. Relaxing your shoulders, relaxing your jaw. Any tension you're keeping in your wrists and your elbows, letting them go. If you're letting your chin come down towards your chest, each exhale, let go of tension that is in and around the back of your neck. Yin yoga poses, you stay in them for between 2 to 5 minutes. It's the traditional kind of time frame, so any of these postures that speak to you, if they feel really excellent and comfortable, whatever it is. You can stay in it longer, you can add it to your daily routine. Taking 3 deep breaths as you're here. And again. And one more. And slowly begin to make your way out of this posture. Bring your elbows back onto the bolster. Bring yourself up. You can keep this little bolster here. I want you to grab hold of this blanket. So make it so that it's comfortable. A little bit of padding. We're going to make our way into what's called frog pose. Depending on how flexible you are, there'll be a couple of different options. So this is a great deep yin posture, but it's one that you need to move into carefully. So I want you to bring your knees wide, basically as if they're going into child's pose. And ideally, your toes should be pointing to the side, your ankle in line with the knee. That's ideally. Don't worry if it's not the case. You can always bring the toes closer in, however it feels best for you. And then you can bring your forearms down to the floor. You can bring your knees as wide as you would like. So you want to get this feeling in and around your groin area. That's usually the place. You want to you want to make sure your hip is in line with the knees. And remember, you can always bring the toes in together. You can bring the knees even closer. And you can also use this bolster to let your forearms rest down. This is a little more of an activated yin posture. But again, make it where you are comfortable, not where you're fidgeting the whole time, to just stick with it. So if you need to bring your knees in close, you need to bring your toes together. It's really okay. I don't mind. Try not to let your stomach collapse down towards the ground. I don't know about you, but I know that for a long time I lived my life just trying to move from one place to the next in a very short time frame. Trying to please as many people as possible, trying to achieve as many things as possible, when actually it just feels really good to slow down, to stop even at times. That's definitely what this lockdown has made me do. To slow down, to stop. Which is quite hard, isn't it? Whenever you're running from A to B and so on and so forth, you don't actually have time to think about your life, to think about how you are, or who you're interacting with, but you just kind of move through it. So this time might have been quite tough for you. It might have been quite insightful. But just know wherever you're at, that's where you're meant to be. We spend a few more moments in this posture before we make our way into or towards Shavasana. Remember, if it's a little too much, you can always bring yourself out of it. Allow yourself to take 3 deep breaths. Beautiful. You're going to slowly walk the hands forward. Allow yourself to come down onto the mat. Bring your legs in. Bring your hands underneath your cheek or your forehead, and just take a moment here. Maybe you want to bend the knees, windshield wiper those feet. It feels pretty good, I promise. And just two final little postures before we come into that so well earned Shavasana. You're just going to roll onto your back. You can keep the blanket there if you want as a little bit of support, as long as it's not under your back currently. Then you're going to bring your hands onto your stomach, cross that left leg over top of the right, and just let your knees fall over to the right side. And then extend that left arm out to the left side, right arm out to the right side. You can gaze to the ceiling, or you can turn your gaze over to the left, whatever is comfortable for you. And if it's even too much, you can pop a block or your bolster or cushion underneath those knees. Feel yourself connected with the mat as you're here. Each little part of your body that is supported by it. And slowly bring your gaze back. Bring your hands back to your stomach as your knees return to center. Unravel the legs and just switching sides. Right leg over top of the left. Knees pouring to the left side. Extend the right arm out. And the left, gaze over the right shoulder if it serves you. And just breathe. Slowly bring the knees back, bring the gaze back. Let your hands return to your stomach. Unravel the knees or the legs and just hug them in towards your chest. You have two options here for Shavasana, both equally as wonderful. Just grab hold of that little support that you have for yourself. Your bolster, your blanket, the pillow, or all three. You're going to bring your bolster underneath your legs. Slowly pick your hips up and roll it underneath your bottom. We're going to do a supported legs against the wall pose, even if you don't have a wall. If you do, you can move towards it, but if not, you can bring yourself here. Bring your hands onto the bolster and just slowly pick the feet up. This is a great de-stressor. If this is one thing you can do at the end of a really stressful day in work, in life, you can do it, or you should do it, I should say. So you can take Shavasana like this, legs against the wall, legs up in the air like this. It might look like it's hard work, but it's actually not. Or you can bring the feet down. You can roll that little bolster underneath your knees so that with your knees lifted, your lower back is being asked to sink to the floor a little more. So find where works for you. Turn your palms to the ceiling. Allow your shoulders to lift up and rotate back towards the mat, sinking down right here. If your hair is tied up, untie it if you want. And we're going to take 3 deep breaths before we move into our Shavasana, inhaling through the nose. Exhale, sigh it away. Inhale. And exhale. Final one, breathing in. Anything you need to let go of before you take that little bit of relaxation, exhale. And just be. And beginning to slowly invite some attention back to your breath. Some awareness back into the room that you're in. And beginning to slowly move your fingers, ever so slowly, and your toes. Maybe rotating those ankles, moving the wrists. And as you inhale, reaching your arms towards the back of the room. And as you exhale, if those legs are lifted up, you can bring them down. And all of us pouring onto our right side. Resting on that right arm, taking a few extra moments, a few extra breaths, keeping the eyes closed. Feeling as if your body, your mind is a whole lot more balanced than when you came into this practice. And slowly make your way up into a comfortable seat. Keep your eyes closed as best you can. If you've fallen asleep, you can stay there. It's all good. Bring your hands onto your knees. Let's finish our time together with a smile on our face and 3 deep breaths. Inhale through the nose. Exhale, let it go. Inhale. And exhale. Final breath. Breathing in. And sigh it away. Let those eyes flicker open. Thank you for your practice. Thank you for the opportunity to lead you through that yin and yang, that warm and cool practice. I hope you're feeling refreshed and well. Have a wonderful day. Thank you.